Donnie Woods from World Exposure Report here. I'm with 2021 Maggie Phipps, a Drake signee. Thanks for joining today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. How was your Christmas? Did you get
Christmas?
anything cool?
Yeah, I got mostly clothes, but I mean, I didn't really want anything too big this year, but it was definitely different a little bit because of COVID. But I mean, at least I got to see some of my family.
There you go. Did you travel anywhere or did you stay close
No,
by?
I stayed at home.
Okay, okay. Now, when did you start playing basketball? Did you?
Yeah, I started really young. I mean, four is when I really started playing. But I had older sisters who played, and so my dad just kind of started coaching me from there. So yeah.
Okay. Now, did you start off in Y basketball or where did you start off at?
My dad, well, of course, like 4-year-old little basketball. I don't know exactly what it was, but then from there, my dad made a little team. And for the first couple years, there was no other girl teams, so we'd play the boys. But then
Right.
from there on, just the teams kind of went, and then I joined an AU club, and so yeah.
Okay. Now I have a son. He's 10, and he needed a team, so I'm coaching his team. And we're doing a lot of traveling. We probably played in about 9 tournaments already. And he probably hates me coaching him. What was that relationship like? Having your dad as your coach for the first couple of years? Is there times where you're sitting at the dinner table and you didn't want to talk basketball, and he's trying to talk basketball with you?
Honestly, not really. I mean, it was honestly great. Also, when I started getting a little bit older, it was a little bit different, but nothing ever bad. It's just like I had him as a coach for so long. It was time like to have somebody else coach, but I really
Right. Right.
liked it.
Perfect. Now, did you play any other sports growing up?
When I was younger, I of course like played soccer, and then I played softball for a while, and then ran some track in like middle school, but nothing too much.
Okay. Now you play for All Iowa Attack. What was your experience playing for that program, and when did you start playing for All Iowa Attack?
I started playing for All Iowa Attack after eighth grade year, and that experience was unlike one that I would like ever had. My game changed so much from there, and just like it was different. I mean, you were all in 24/7 with that team, and you were gonna get like better each day. And I learned a lot from there. Like it was different. I mean, I loved it, and there were some things like there's some coaches like Randy Morrow. Like he's one coach that I mean I am so glad I had, and excited to see him like when he's working with Drake. But it was just my skills. I feel got better over time, just maturity wise, playing with them.
What are some things that you added to your game this summer that you didn't really have last summer?
This summer I feel like I got a little bit better, like of an IQ, playing with a bunch of different players that I never played before. But specifically, like even going into like after recovering from my back, a big thing is like mid-range jumpers, which aren't seen a lot in the girls' game, but the way like I've seen like coming into new offenses, it's really open, and so just being able to shoot that shot.
Now, I mean, you're absolutely correct. In women's basketball, it's a bunch of layups and jacking up threes. I remember one year I was coaching, and in one game at the college level, we shot 72 threes, which I didn't like. But we that year we were number one in the nation in scoring. The mid-range game, is that something that Drake really wanted you to work on, or is that just something that you decided that you need to add to your bag?
Well, I did it, I guess, like I've always practiced it, but then with going with like my new high school and our offense is really open. And so
Hmm.
I guess just one day I like practiced, started shooting it, and then in a previous like game, it just I could see how open it was, and just yeah, it just kind of happened. I never really planned for it, but
Now, on the AAU circuit, did you have any player rivalries or any team rivalries? Like, hey, I really want to play this team in a tournament, or I want to match up with this girl specifically. Any of those that you
uh,
had playing?
not really. I mean, when I was younger, definitely there was some like when I played a different program, it was definitely like okay, all out attack. And then there was another team called the Storm, which Katie Dennebeer actually played for, and we were
Uh-huh.
young. But honestly, when I was older, it was just whoever we got to play. I mean, it was fun to match up, play against anybody.
What was your experience like this summer because of COVID? I know, I saw you guys play down at in Des Moines TOC event. Everybody's wearing a mask, and I'm trying to watch games, and I hated wearing the mask, but I felt like I needed to. Tell me
Yeah.
a little bit about your experience with the whole COVID thing.
It was honestly really, different. But this year, you just like we had got to practice a lot more, and I feel
Hmm.
like a lot of people's games developed um, just over time. And then, it was different because there was not as much team chemistry. It took a lot longer to build without going like to different states, and because we only got to go to Indianapolis, and that was the only place. Otherwise, we were at home. But just a lot of people's skills increased, and especially mine. I feel like from the end of high school season to now, it's been a huge increase.
Now, this summer you played with a lot of pain. Why did you continue to play even though you had pain?
I don't know. I think it's just kind of a mindset I've always had, just kind of keep playing. I didn't think it was anything big. I thought, okay, yeah, we're practicing a lot. There's going to be some like aches. And then when like I had that fall and that hurt my back, I just thought everybody's telling me, okay, you're okay. It was just like your fall. And so I just kept playing. And then it came to a point where like it hurt to move. Like I was warming up one game and it killed. And so we went, and that's where I found out I broke my back. But it was definitely shocking because I didn't think it was that bad.
Right. Can you tell me your thoughts when you first found out that you were playing with a fractured L5?
I was so surprised. I like, how did that like happen? Because they said that I'd been playing with like tiny fractures for 2 years, and I thought, how did I not know this? I was completely shocked.
Oh, wow. Um, Now you signed with Drake. Can you tell me a little bit more about why you decided to commit to Drake, and what your game is going to offer to Drake next year?
But committing to Drake was actually a really easy decision. That's what I hoped for, but like be starting my recruiting process, I did not think I was going to go to Drake. And I went to camps, and then my first visit, it was like obviously really good, and I love the team and just like the home aspect they have, and the coaching staff is incredible. But then once I got to like my second visit and like continuing to talk to the coaches, it just like felt really right. And it's like I didn't even think of any other schools. Like they were so ahead of the competition, just the way they played, especially fast paced, just keeping the tempo up, and then how the players interacted with each other. Because not all the time you see how close they were off the court. It wasn't just like a show for like the recruiter like tells them to put on. I guess I don't know if that happened.
Right. No, it happens, especially when you go on visits, and they kind of organize who you have dinner with, or who you hang out with, or who you can ask questions. So I think the family atmosphere, to find that out and see if it's really true, is very important. Now, since you went through the recruiting process, what advice would you give to, I would say, 23s and 24s as they go through the recruiting process? What type of advice would you give to them?
When you're having like a conversation with a coach, just like really like dive into it and get to know them like on like the best level that you can, because they're going to be with you for years. And it's like when you go on a visit, really get to know the players and get their input on like how the coaches are and how the practice and how everything is, just to get different perspectives.
Perfect. Now, for high school, you led North Polk to state tournament the last 3 years, and the last two state finals. Now you transferred to Ankeny Centennial to play for Scott. Tell me a little why you decided to transfer.
Transferring, it didn't have anything to do with basketball. There was a lot of mental things going on for the past like couple of years, and it came to a point where I went to my parents, I need to change, and then we actually did move to like my parents were going to move anyway, so we decided to move over to Ankeny. And looking at the basketball program was like a big thing that we looked at when I was deciding to move, but yeah, picking Coach Scott DeYoung and the team was pretty easy decision to move over here versus other places, but very happy that I did.
All right. Scott's a great coach. I know when I used to coach at the college level, I used to try to get players from his program because I trusted players that they were going to work hard and on and off the court. So, he's a great coach. Now, what were some of your personal accolades while you were at North Polk?
Um, I don't know. But yeah, North Polk. Ooh, I haven't thought about that stuff in a long time. No, playing with them uh, was good. Good. I mean, obviously going to state 3 times, uh, making it state finals twice. I mean, sucked losing twice, but just I don't know if I don't know.
Now, at North Polk, if I remember correctly, you hold a single game scoring record with 32 points. And you also hold a 3-point record in a game with 8. Tell me about that night where you made 8 threes and scored 32 points and broke the single game scoring record.
Yeah, that was freshman year, and that was like obviously a really big night because it was a couple games into the season, getting to like know the team, and it was a very memorable night because I had I had no idea what the records were, and I had 7, and my senior teammates told me, and my coach at the fourth quarter said you have 1 minute, and so luckily I hit the 3 in the 1 minute, but it was just really fun to share that like moment with those seniors because they were so excited.
Perfect. And you also, from what I read, that you own the school's single season scoring record with 499 points and a single season record for 3-pointers with 79. You know, was that your freshman year as well?
No, I believe the scoring 499 was last year, but
Okay.
I don't know. I don't really keep track of that whole lot.
So you finished North Polk 3 years for a total of 1,315 points and 203 pointers made. Now you're at Ankeny. What are some of your personal goals while you're at Ankeny?
Personally, honestly, I'm not really thinking like so much about like scoring and like those type of records this year. I just wanted to have the most fun with my teammates and obviously get to the state, get to final, like hopefully become champions. It would be awesome to like set some scoring records or rebounds or anything like that, but mostly like have fun because even in our last game against Ames, that was the most fun and like joyful game I've had a long time. It felt like a state finals game. So
Right. Now, do you guys meet up with Ames again?
yes, we do.
Okay. If I remember correctly, in that game you had 36 points, and on that Ames team, there's 2 future Division I players. In that win, you set the Ankeny single game scoring record with 31 points, including 5 3-pointers and 9 rebounds. Can you tell me a little bit about that night?
That night, oh, it was fun. I mean, we played such like team chemistry basketball. I feel like cannot take credit for anything. My teammates got me open shots, and I was able to penetrate in the lane and score from there. But it was fun. I mean, just to play with the teams and like everybody's really stepped up that game and scored. Obviously, because we had scoring. I think we had like 79 points that night. So
Perfect. Now, going back to college and Drake, what are some things, I'm sure you have some goals, some 4-year goals that you want to accomplish at Drake. What are some of those goals that you probably already start setting for yourself?
yeah, I mean, a goal is to definitely like should like not just be out there, but like make a difference while I'm out there because you never know how many minutes you're gonna get, especially freshman and sophomore year. And a goal is just to like get in there and hopefully make a difference. Oh, like I say, make a difference. But I'm really hoping just like to make it to the NCAA tournament and like continue farther because they have made it in the past quite a few times and made it to the first round, but hopefully like advance even farther.
Right. Are you a little nervous that her name always popping up for high major jobs? Has she talked a little bit with you about her name always being mentioned and not worrying about it?
Yeah, we've talked about it a couple times. Like my dad's brought it up, but honestly, I'm like not worried about it. I mean, whatever happens, happens. But I mean, I love her and the coaching staff, and I trust in them 100%.
Perfect. Well, hey, Maggie, I really appreciate you joining us today. We wish you the best of luck this high school season, and we'll definitely be watching you once you get to college, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Have a blessed day.
You too.
All right, thank you.